Are you ready for the ultimate caravan and adventure? Well, here's how to prep like a pro. Hello, welcome back to the channel. So today we're going to go through the essential steps of getting your caravan ready for that ultimate trip. So getting ready for a trip away in your caravan can be overwhelming, stressful, I would know. But with the right checklist, you'll be ready in no time. So first, let's talk about packing, because what you do and don't have could quite easily make or break your trip. So this video will cover packing, maintenance, safety checks that you'll need to carry out, and any supplies that you may need to bring. So when you sit down and have a think about the things that you're going to need to pack, you've got to think of things like your bedding, pillows, etc. If you don't already keep those in the caravan, you're going to need to think about your kitchen area, so pots, pans, cutlery, etc. Personal items, so clothes, toiletries, etc. And then of course you're going to have to think about entertainment, what that might be for you, whether it's books, DVDs, TV, etc. So go through your daily routine when you're at home. So what I do is I start in the morning, so when I get up I have coffee, so it reminds me that I need coffee, sugar and milk. And go through your daily routine like that, and if you're likely to carry out that routine in the caravan, then it should give you a good idea of, certainly a starting point, of what you need to put on your checklist. A couple of things to bear in mind when you're packing ready for your trip, whether it's in a tent, caravan, trailer tent, it applies to all of these things, some more so than others. But space and weight, when it comes to bedding, our front seats make up our bed, and it is a king size bed, sort of, and it's a lot of bedding to store, as well as 2 bunk beds, and now the baby. So what we do is we use vacuum bags, and it literally halves in size. They are a brilliant idea. We store them under the seat because it's, essentially they don't weigh an awful lot, but weight distribution is obviously something else you're going to have to think of when packing. Number 2 on our list, maintenance and safety checks. So one important thing to check is tyres and wheels. Making sure that your tyre condition is okay, i.e. no cracks on the walls, no punctures, making sure that the tyre pressure is okay, and the torque of your wheel nuts. You can look in your owner's manual. If, unfortunately, like me, you don't have an owner's manual, you can speak to the manufacturer and pray that they do have the owner's manual. Or alternatively, Google is a wonderful thing. Before setting off, you're going to want to check your lights, that when you hook up your car, the lights on the caravan work, which would be a good start, and that the right lights turn on. Now you're also going to want to check your gas. You're going to want to make sure that everything is okay with the gas, you've got no leaks, etc., no loose fittings, and whilst travelling, ensuring that your gas is switched off. Now what you're also going to want to check is your battery. Not just your battery, so your electrical supply in general. If there's any faults that you know of, they need to be sorted as soon as possible. You're going to want to make sure that everything works before you go away. All of these safety checks and maintenance parts, you're going to want to have a look and make sure that there's nothing wrong before you go, because it's always going to be much easier when you're better equipped at home than when you're 100 miles from home with barely any tools at all. Alright, just as an idea, we do carry a few minor tools, spanner, screwdriver, just little things that don't take up too much weight or space. We keep those just in case, because you never know what little thing you might come across whilst you're away. But like I say, if you carry out these checks, it should minimise any issues that you've got whilst you're away in the caravan. Because whilst you're away, you don't want to be fixing it, you want to be enjoying your time away, don't you? Now, I do also want to emphasize how important it is to make sure that your caravan is in a good condition to tow. A caravan is not a light object and can be extremely dangerous if you don't check it over and make sure that everything's okay before you hook up and go off onto your travels. Right, now we're back inside. Let's stock up on supplies to keep us comfortable and prepared whilst we're away. First thing on the list, food. Now, what food you pack is entirely up to you. Obviously, it all depends on what you eat, what sort of food that you want whilst you're away. We do cook in the caravan, although a lot of the food that we take away with us is sort of non-perishable foods. When we get to the campsite, we tend to go off to a supermarket. One of us does, whilst the other one is stuck at the campsite, slaving away, to go and get the rest of the supplies that we'll need for the trip. Next on the list, cleaning supplies. Easily overlooked, but make all the difference. So next we have camping gear. By camping gear I mean things like windbreak if you want one, chairs, table for the awning. If you're taking away an awning, that'll be another thing on your list, and all that sort of stuff. So more so not stuff that you would normally keep in the caravan, but stuff you would need whilst you're camping. So whilst we're on the subject of supplies, I have been in the position where forgotten to bring something, and it was my clothes. So you end up spending 3 days in the same set of clothes, which isn't very comfortable, I can tell you, because apparently my clothes are my responsibility. There we are. Right, so last, but by all means not least, let's wrap up with final preparations. So that'll be things like the way that you pack your caravan. Please be conscious about how you pack your caravan. You don't want any heavy items right at the back of the caravan or right at the front. You want to make sure that lockers are locked and closed, cupboard doors, etc. Everything inside the caravan is secure. We do carry most heavy items in the car because it handles much better, whereas if you have heavy items at the front or the back of the caravan, you will experience some quite terrifying situations. So if you do need to put anything heavy, keep it on the floor and ideally over the axle of the caravan. Double check your booking before you leave, because if there are any issues, again, it's best to find out before you leave rather than when you get there. You're also going to want to check the route. So we use an app that is designed for a lorry. There'll be lots of different apps out there. I know that a lot of people do check with Google Street View just to make sure that the route that their sat nav is taking them down isn't very narrow and windy roads, etc. So dependent on where you're going, travel documents, insurance for your caravan, you'll need that regardless, although it isn't a legal requirement, because a lot of car insurances cover the caravan third party only. So that's certainly what ours is, although the caravan is insured separately. So once you've got everything, caravan is packed, car is packed, kids are chucked in the car, ready to go, just walk around once more. It certainly won't hurt. It will take an extra 30 seconds. Check your lockers are locked, your door is locked, no windows open, your doors are closed inside and locked, lights, etc. Just one more walk round. With these steps, you should be all set to have a safe journey and amazing holiday. If you found this video helpful, please give us a thumbs up, leave a comment, and don't forget to subscribe because it really does help the channel. Happy caravanning. Thank you for watching.